Good morning, YouTube. This is Mike from The Last Corvette. Today is December 13th. It's a Tuesday. I am on my way to the office. I haven't made a video since that short little C6 adjusting the axle back exhaust. But anyway, I've been busy, and C6 is next on my list. I'm currently remodeling the last room at our house, which is the laundry room, about 50% there, ready to start closing everything in. It's been a project because I had to move a bunch of the infrastructure over, but once I'm done with it, I'll jump into the C6 Corvette, get a head start, and kind of the segue or the bridge here to this video and why I'm making it. I'll be utilizing my GoPro with a tripod. So that's going to do a couple of things. It's going to free up my hands, and it's also going to show you guys everything from start to finish versus, you know, me explaining, let's say, doing the disassembly and then making another video and kind of missing the most crucial parts in between, because that's been the biggest issue on my end, just because it's me and I only got two hands that I need to use and then a cell phone. So that's going to change with the C6. Hopefully the video is a little bit more better when it comes to the instructions, or the I'll say the step-by-step side of things. So anyway, the reason I'm bringing this up is because over the weekend, last weekend that is, I haven't checked my YouTube in a while, and I opened it up and I saw several comments. First one was on a Volvo turbo replacement that I did almost 3 years ago. It's going to be 3 years in March. And the comment was, you know, it would have been nice to see the disassembly portion. We're actually removing the turbo off the vehicle. Well, unfortunately, like I said, I couldn't do it back then. Now the next two or three somebody's having, and if you're watching this video, we can definitely troubleshoot it over the interwebs. Somebody obviously has a 2003 or same generation Volvo cross country. This particular Volvo that I worked on used to belong to my grandfather that passed. Now my father drives it, and it's still running almost 3 years later, no issues. And I had to go through a troubleshoot process to figure out if the blow-by was internal, meaning engine related, head gasket, or something else. So you need to start with checking your oil to make sure, for one, you're not low on oil, you're not mixing coolant or antifreeze with oil. Then you got to look at your expansion tank, coolant expansion tank, and see if you see presence of oil. If all that's clear, the coast is clear, you can move to the turbo. Now, of course, what type of smoke or color are you getting out of the exhaust pipe? Is it white, blue, black? That will also tell you if it's antifreeze, oil, or fuel. Now, for me, I can tell you this. When I took the turbo apart, and I actually took the housing apart, and yes, it does come out through the top. I removed everything. About 75% to 80% of all the work is done from the top of the engine, okay? I was actually on top of it. And then I did have the vehicle set up on car ramps, as you can see in my videos, to give me access to underside for the return line, oil return line, and a couple of other fittings. But overall, you can do it. Now, Volvo facilities or European aftermarket repair facilities will drop the subframe to make their life easier. Just like on the C6 Corvette, when they remove the drivetrain right out of the vehicle to work on the fuel tanks. It's just easier, right? Especially if you have all the specialty equipment. But anyway, yes, the turbo comes out through the top. And when you remove the turbo, you'll need to get yourself a good snap ring tool. You're gonna have to soak it probably in some WD-40 or PB Blast, the snap ring that is. Once you remove the snap ring, couple of little taps, and the inner impeller housing will come out, and that's when you can check for play. And you will also see if there's any run out damage when it comes to the inner impeller side that you can't see when the turbo is still mounted. So that is the best approach. But of course, before you start diving into the disassembly, follow the simple steps, and you can comment back, and you know, and I'll try to, like I said, guide you through. but the vehicle is not at my house. I do have access to it to show you or show somebody else where everything is located. But yeah, I did have play in the inner shaft. The seals were bad, and the antifreeze was actually blowing by and obviously coming out of the exhaust. So that was that. And you can buy a complete new assembly with the O-ring. Comes in the kit. One quick tip though, when you do buy it, before you install it, check for play again. Make sure it's nice and tight. It is keyed, so you can only put it in one way into the main turbo housing itself, the body of the impeller. And the reason that is because you need to clock all of your oil and coolant passages so everything lines up, so you don't blow up your turbo on the first startup. Another thing too is, like I did in my video, is when you have everything apart, start the vehicle for a quick second and make sure you're getting a nice good oil flow being delivered to the turbo. That's important as well. Alrighty guys, further questions, leave comments, and very soon I'll start on the C6. Talk to you guys later.